This is a short video tutorial to show how I would correct shadows that are on the bride's dress because a bystander stood in front of the photographer's auxiliary light and casted their shadow on the bride's dress. First of all, as we open up this raw file in Adobe Camera Raw, this is the main panel, and we can see that the bride's dress is already toned down with the highlights. I slid the highlight control over. Here's where it came in. I took it to -75, and now you can see details starting to show in her dress again. As I click on the preview square up here or just press the letter P, you can see the details show a little bit better after I've done that. The next step, I'm going to go to the adjustment brush. To do that, just press the letter K, that's the shortcut, and you can see new panel opens up down the side. I'm going to take this shadow area of her dress and brighten it up. To do that, I'm going to take the exposure over to about +1. I'm going to take the shadows adjustment slider and take it over to about 25. And then I'm going to take the saturation and I'm going to totally take it down to 100% desaturated. I have a fairly small brush. You can see the circle on the screen shows how big the brush is. And as I start to click with my mouse and just go right down through this area, you can see it is brightening up the shadows that are on her dress. I'm using a Wacom tablet, so as I just draw through here, I can see that I'm lightening up those shadows. If you want to see exactly where you've painted, press the letter Y for a shortcut and it'll show you, I've made it purple here, where I've painted. And I just simply paint out the shadows. Now to go back and look at it the way it is without this purple, just press Y again, and now it's much better. Here you can see the before and after. There's still some areas where there's some deeper shadows that need to be adjusted some more. So I'm going to go up here to New Adjustment Brush, click here, and this time I'm going to take the exposure up to about 50. I'm going to take the shadows up just a little bit, maybe 9 or 10, and I'm going to take the saturation down not as far as I did, but a little bit more. And I'm going to simply paint in a new adjustment brush along this little black area there, down the shadow this side, and just paint it in until it looks a little better. Now, I'm getting close to being done here, but I'm also noticing there's a blue fluorescence of her dress. Some bride's white dresses will do that. And so I'm going to desaturate the entire dress. New adjustment brush, and I'm going to take the saturation down about 50 points down. And I'm going to simply paint it over her entire dress. Again, I'm going to press the Y key so I can see where I'm painting with this new brush, and I'm only desaturating, I'm not brightening at all. So I'm going to go the entire dress to get rid of that bluish tone to her dress. I go around the edges first. A little thing you may not have noticed because it's down at the very bottom of the right-hand screen. If I slide down a little farther, there's something called Auto Mask. If you click that, your adjustment brush will stay within the white dress, and it almost helps you stay inside the lines as if you were coloring. Now I'm going to turn off the purple, and you can see the dress is quite a bit better. I've got still just a little bit of shadow down here, and I might take this brush and I'm going to brighten it just a little bit more in the shadows, and it helps there. The next step, I'm going to simply convert all of this raw file into a JPEG, and I can do it right here. I'm just going to open up a small JPEG so we can work with it, and open the image. We'll wait for the ACR Adobe Camera Raw to process this. As it's doing this, one thing I noticed was the photograph was just a little bit crooked. We could have straightened it in Camera Raw, but I waited to do this until we got to a JPEG. And it's quite easy to straighten. You simply go up here under the eyedropper, there's a ruler. Click the ruler and you just draw a line across something that you know is a straight horizon, such as this, and go up here to Image, Image Rotation, and go to Arbitrary. It will straighten that 0.72 degrees clockwise, and there, it just straightened the image. Now that you know how we do that, I'm going to undo it, and we're going to work on the shadow that is behind the dress, because it's quite intense back here. I'm going to select the Magic Wand tool, W is the shortcut, and I'm going to simply highlight all of this carpet area. And you can see the Magic Wand selects just the brown carpet for the most part and stays outside of the white dress. I'm going to go around the bride and the groom and select the brown carpet that is up here. And that's good enough for right now. Over here you can see I got some of the white table. I want to undo that, so click the Alt key and it'll take that out of my selection. There we go. We've got a little bit of white dress right here. I'm going to keep the Alt key to take the veil out of the selection, and we have a pretty good, very quick selection. Now all I'm going to do to fix this part of the stairs is I'm going to go to the rubber clone tool, S, and I'm going to take my brush and I'm going to enlarge it about to that size, and I'm going to take a sample here and I'm going to simply paint it in on this side. It will, I'm only at 50%, so I'm going to change it to 100% saturation or clone. I come over to this side and I can paint in new stairs. It won't let me paint into the bride's dress. I can go over it, but it'll only go up to the edge, and I can just simply paint out that entire shadow area. Now I picked up a little of the groom's suit and shoes, so I'll just come over here and redo that little step, and we can do the entire floor around the dress to fill in all of this shadow area. And over here in the corner is some more shadow that makes you look at it simply because it's darker than the rest, so we're going to take that out. And now if I hide this selection, Control H, you can see what I've cleaned up. There's still some little pieces around the edges, but you can go in very quickly and smooth those out. The next thing I wanted to do, I'm going to simply take out this table because we're not seeing the whole table, and it's a bright spot. It attracts your attention to the left side of the image rather than the bride's gown, so I would just clone the steps right on over and clear out that table completely. The other thing that I notice is the candelabra here is only on one side, and it feels like there should be a candelabra on this side. So what I did was I did a selection tool, I selected the candelabra, brought it over to the other side, and then I just flipped the image and put in a new candelabra. That's pretty much straightforward cloning process. I also look at the stools back here. There's a folding chair back here that probably should have been taken out before the pictures, but I'm going to just simply clone those out, take them out. But the last thing I notice is this photograph is slightly off center, and we can fix that. If I wanted to do, for example, an 8 by 10, which is a 4:5 ratio, if I come down here so I can see the bride and the groom and get them proper height, they're off center. So all I'm going to do is take away my clone tool, or my crop tool, and simply increase the canvas size on the left and give it some more width. Let's jump it up to about 5.5 inches. And so you have something like this, and then I simply clone in more background, more steps, and it gives me a chance to put the bride and the groom into the center of the photograph. And after all of the cloning work and taking out the little shadows, the final result is posted below. Thank you.